When you hear the rhythm, start to move.
Hi everyone, my name is Varia and this is Shameless Careers, a podcast about career change. Please do subscribe to this channel. It massively helps me grow it and bring career change stories to people who may need it, who may feel stuck and uninspired in their jobs. And there may be many more people like that around you than you think. In today's episode, I wanted to speak about a book that has made a huge impact on me. And in fact, this is one of my absolute favorite books that I keep recommending to anyone who I speak to about career change. This book is called The Range by David Epstein. So why has this book made such an impact on me? At the start of my career, I personally made some career changes myself, moving across very different teams within the asset management industry. While all these moves were something that I was curious about and I genuinely wanted to do, sometimes, on bad days, I would be thinking, have I made the right choice jumping from one team to another? What if I stayed within my original team? Would I have progressed more and quicker? And I now have a hodgepodge of different experiences, not really an expert in anything, at least not in the same way as people who have stayed in the same team all these years. Maybe I've just spread myself too thin and I will achieve nothing and I will be no one. This may sound dramatic, but if we remember that we're living in a society which is obsessed with success and getting quick results, probably no wonder that these thoughts can creep in if you for some reason chose not to go all steam ahead down the path that you started with. So this book that I wanted to talk to you about today, The Range, has helped me massively by making super convincing arguments as to why being a generalist at the start of your career and specializing later is actually a good strategy long term, which can make you more effective, creative in your career, and be a better problem solver, although it may feel like you're lagging behind in the short term. The book's argument essentially is that when you're ultra-specialized, you're used to a certain problem-solving pattern. And any problem you encounter will seem like the problem that can be solved with this exact tool. You know a phrase, if all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. That's exactly that, an over-reliance on one tool. While if you're more of a generalist and have different experiences, you have practiced different problem-solving muscles. So you have more tools to solve problems with. And as a result, before rushing to solve a problem with one preferred method, you will be better at identifying what type of problem it is in front of you, and is that a problem that can be solved with this tool, or maybe a mix of them. So basically what you get is you can better identify what problem you have and when, and then you will pick the most suitable tool out of your toolkit to solve it. The more experiences, skills, so the more tools you have, the more creative and effective you will be when solving those problems. Now, that's the theory. So what does it look like in practice? And what is the evidence that having these various generalist experiences versus being specialized actually works better? I will draw out several examples that have been most memorable for me in this book. But the book, I can promise you, is just filled with tons and tons of examples backed by science, so that by the end of it, you really have no doubt how valuable it is to have various experiences in your back pocket and broader perspective on things versus being ultra-specialized. The first and probably the most prominent example from the book is a superstar tennis player, Roger Federer. Roger tried all kinds of sports in the early days and specialized in tennis later in the childhood. And all of these vast sports experiences gave him versatile athletic foundation, a range of movement skills. All of that has really contributed to him being great at tennis afterwards. This contrasts to another sports superstar, Tiger Woods, who specialized in golf super early, which is a strategy that has obviously worked. But then the book makes an argument that such early specialization works only in pristine, non-chaotic, rules-based environment, like chess or golf, when the problem is super clear and the solution purely depends on your actions. But most of the time, we're operating in chaotic environments, in life and business, where you deal with imperfect information, uncertainty, a lot of variables that need to be taken into account. And when it comes to sports, tennis is actually more of that type of environment. And for this type of environments, having more experiences to lean on versus being an ultra specialist works better. The second example is from arts. So Vincent van Gogh, a famous Dutch painter, before he started painting, he tried being an art dealer, a teacher, a bookseller, a preacher. But then when he focused on his painting, he could channel all his vast life experiences to create an absolutely unique style that made him one of the most recognized painters in history. The third example, Franz Kafka, a famous writer, worked as a lawyer in an insurance company, which gave him wealth of experiences with bureaucracy, how people feel within this, which are all the insights that have been feeding into his masterpieces such as The Trial and The Metamorphosis. Finally, the book cites a study that shows that Nobel Prize winners in sciences are 22 times more likely to have artistic hobbies like music, writing, painting, like completely unrelated areas. And it shows that this type of diverse activities help scientists approach their scientific problems in a more creative way, which may contribute to scientific breakthroughs that they're making. So the bottom line here is, if you have changed careers and it's not immediately obvious to you how it's useful to you right now, and in fact you may be feeling behind when others are growing within their respective specialized tracks, trust me, all these experiences are not wasted. All this time is not wasted. Later on, you will see how all these experiences and skills that you've gained will enable you to have a 3D version of problems you're working on. You may be more effective in solving them, and you may come up with more creative solutions off the back of that. And from my personal experiences, having been through all these doubts, I have seen it firsthand how insights and skills that I've gained in all my teams that I've worked in and that I'm bringing into the job right now, how all of them are extremely valuable. And I'm super grateful that I've taken these career detours, let alone the fact that it was simply fun to follow my curiosity and try out different experiences. And last note, if you are in a single career track, all of this applies to you too. This book makes a perfect argument for how having different experiences in your day-to-day life, for example, creative hobbies, something that seemingly have nothing to do with your job, is not wasted unproductive time and something that may, in fact, make you much more effective in your career. Like these Nobel Prize winners who are pursuing creative hobbies on the side, which makes them better at solving their scientific problems. With that, thank you so much for tuning in today, and until next time, be shameless.